Okay, our next guest has some very important information that you need to know about Medicare. Welcome, Kathy Hirko. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you.
You're a woman of many talents, I must say. But this is very interesting and important information, I think, that people might overlook when there's all these questions and concerns about going into getting Medicare.
Correct, correct. When people are approaching 65, they start receiving a lot of mail about Medicare supplements, Medicare Advantage plans, Part D prescription plans. So people will call us up and say, we don't understand. The more I read, the more confused I get. Not that Medicare is confusing, but the information that's being sent to them, because there's so much, can be confusing.
And there are several parts.
Correct.
So like there's Part A, Part B, Part. What do they all mean, and what are the differences? And do you need all of the parts?
Part A, if you've worked 40 quarters, which is 10 years, you've been paying into Medicare. So you are given Part A automatically once you've paid into it for the 40 quarters, and that covers hospital. Then there's Part B, which covers the medical side, doctors. But Medicare A and B covers 80%. So then if you don't get a supplement or an Advantage plan, you're exposed for 20% of a bill.
Okay.
So that's where a company like ourselves comes in, where we educate people to their options if they're going to utilize Medicare when they're turning 65.
Now, there's something about a time frame right around
Correct.
before your birthday and after that you have a time frame to take advantage of? Maybe I'm not quite sure what it is.
Okay, so 3 months before your birthday, the month of, and 3 months after is the guaranteed issue period. So that's when traditionally people will look at Medicare and say, okay, do I want to go on Medicare or not? Why would somebody not want to utilize Medicare? They may still be working, and it may be more advantageous for them to stay on their company plan. But many times, it's more advantageous for them to leave the company plan and utilize Medicare. And this is where there's a lot of confusion. People sometimes think that they have to be retired to utilize Medicare. They don't. They can still continue to work unless for some reason their company would say that they would have to leave. The other thing is, a lot of times people think that they have to be collecting Social Security in order to utilize Medicare. They don't. Those are two.
So you can still utilize. Now, if you don't, what if you miss the boat in that window of before your 65th and after birthday? You can still get on to Medicare, but
you can, and there's different, like if you get Part A, which is given to you automatically when you're 65, then if you wait to get Part B and you haven't been on a plan that is considered credible coverage by Medicare, then yes, you would pay a penalty. You can sign up, and the enrollment period, if you miss the time frame, is in January, but Part B then wouldn't start. You would sign up in January, but it doesn't start until July, and you pay a penalty, and you pay that penalty the rest of your life.
The rest of your life?
Correct.
Wow.
So we do recommend that at 65, people would at least find out, if they need to utilize Medicare or not.
Well, what I have gathered from all of this is that it can be extremely confusing.
Yes.
So what I would do is jump on board and call you and try to have someone else sort through, because you can take a lot of the confusion out of it and you can guide people. You get more of a layman's terms. This is what it is. Here's what we can help you do.
We really strip it down to the basics, and the one thing people need to know is we are not allowed to solicit. People who are representing Medicare supplements Advantage plans by Medicare rules are not allowed to solicit. So they need, the individual needs to reach out. If you said to me, my mom or my uncle is turning 65, call them. We can't. They have to reach out to us. Once they reach out to us, then we can sit down and we educate them to their options at no cost about Medicare. Which is another point of confusion, because people will say, well, then how do you get paid? Well, if people utilize a plan through us, then the plan pays us. Okay.
Which makes perfect sense.
Correct, correct.
And it's helpful. So it's free. Give them a call. They won't be calling you, so give them a call. That's Kaz Company.
Correct.
And we'll have all the information then again for you on our New Day page on fox8.com. Very informational assistance here that you can give to people. I'm very glad that you decided to stop on and help us out.
We all have to face it at one point, and it's not a bad thing.
It's
not.
A good thing. It's not, and it's helpful.
Correct.
It's helpful things that are out there, but just confusing at first. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.